Nice.
All right, Alchemist, we have a treat because Melinda and I are going to play to do a special reading for you all for the new moon. It is the final new moon of 2025, and it happens on Friday the 19th, and it's in Sagittarius. So before we get into the actual reading itself for every sign, what what do you personally think about with new moon energy? Do you set
Listen,
intentions? What do you do?
yes, I do. I love my new moons almost more than full. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't want to have to choose, but I love the new moon because then you really just get to kind of be in the soil, you know,
Yeah.
and plant some intentional seeds. I love ritual. I love I always have my tray. I have this tray and I'll write my intention or a word
Yeah.
or on there. And I love thinking about the sign that it's in. I love thinking about how it's going to become like to fruition in the following 6 months. I don't have to stress about it being only for that month.
Yes.
But yeah, it's just an opportunity for reflection and honing in on what's going on and what do we want and what
I
do
love
we,
that
yeah,
you said to get in the soil. I don't think I've ever thought of it that way, but I like that a lot.
yeah,
Like the
yeah.
idea, even the texture of what we're planting our seed in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we want it to be nourishing. We want that soil to be, yeah, because it's otherwise it's just you want to feel like this you're putting your seed in a nice, nourishing
Yeah.
container. You don't want to put it just on concrete, you
No.
know?
That
Mm-mm.
reminds me of like get your mind right before you do your ritual or your intention setting. Like not to do it just mm, without being in a space of focus, like making sure you're really connected to whatever it is that you're saying you want to plant or intend to align to in frequency for yourself. Yeah, I like that. Again, the soil just highlights the importance of even preparing ourselves before doing the ritual or the work. Hi. Okay, so this particular new moon, again, it's the last one of 2025. And so it's like the final intention that we're setting. And as you mentioned, because it's in Sagittarius, its cycle will play out until the full moon in Sagittarius, which will be May 31st of 2026. So we have that 6 month window of watching and pouring into and supporting what it is we're planting. But what about Sagittarius energy? What
Mm.
comes up for you when you think about being intentional, setting or planting a seed with that energy?
It's very bold and immediately the adventure comes to mind.
Yeah.
I think about it as like tra I'm thinking literally about
Mm,
traveling and what
yeah.
travels I might be doing within the next 6 months. And also just like because we're vibing before 2026. Like
Yeah.
this is the last new moon, you said, right? Yeah, we're in
Hmm.
the last new moon before we go into the new year. So it's our pre-new year, kind of preparation.
Yeah.
And it's the most fun one in a sense because it's like, what do we want to learn?
Hmm.
What do we like? Sag is very philosophical and wants to higher learning and
Yeah.
but wants to have direct experience. So it's going
Right.
to, go out there and like what classes, take a class or have experiences
Yeah.
out in the world. And it's probably going to also just like maybe there's some things that need to be said, it does. Listen, Sag has a
And
reputation
that
for
energy, good God, everybody take cover.
has a reputation for saying the truth.
Yeah.
It may be a little blunt,
Hmm.
but then everybody knows where you stand. I like that
Yeah.
energy.
Yeah. I do too. Listen, I really appreciate just give it to me straight, and I don't have to like it, but I can respect what's true for, someone else's perspective, whether I agree or not. I just really rather deal with the truth. So I can appreciate it. While there are a lot of people who don't like that, they do not function well in that. But you're surrounded by fire signs, so I guess you have to deal with that. I often think of Sagittarius too. It always comes to mind like a quest for truth and expanding our mind and our consciousness, seeking, yes, like a higher wisdom. I always think of it this way, how like Gemini is its opposite. And Gemini wants information, but it's more kind of like wanting the opinions of your friends and everyone around you. Like, what do you think about this? Tell me what it's more kind of indirect. Whereas Sagittarius is like, no, I need to try it out for myself and then I can determine what is really true for me or what goes beyond just the limitations maybe of other people's minds. That's why I really like it. But in this energy, I also think of this new moon, like you and I were talking about. It comes just a few days before the sun moves into Capricorn. So I kind of think of this, well, what are you looking for? And there has to be some inner truth that perhaps we're also seeking to understand before the taskmaster, Capricorn, says, well, what are you going to do about this? Now you planted this seed. What are you going to do about it? Yeah, you
Yeah.
didn't just put this into the earth for the fun. Now you are responsible to the seed. You are responsible for its growth. You are responsible for every part of it, right? So it kind of feels like, again, I feel like this is an energy we can all be very mindful and intentional about.
Yeah.
Um, I definitely wouldn't want to be willy nilly about the intention.
No,
No.
no, it's really, and to go from this kind of, I don't know, mutable fire with
Yeah.
the thought to the cardinal earth
Yeah,
energy, like that's coming next. It's just an interesting blend.
it is.
And yeah, so and it's fun. All this at the end of the year. It's just wild.
Yeah. When you said that, it just had the visual of like, because Capricorn is the cardinal earth, I had the visual of literally Sagittarius planting its idea into Capricorn and Capricorn being like, okay, yeah, you put this thing in me. So
Exactly.
you better tend to it. Yeah. Well, that's why we thought this would be fun to look at what this energy is bringing up or what some considerations may be energetically for the signs. That may also help you clarify what it is that you are going to give some life to, what you're going to direct your mind towards. So, my love, you want to both, let's pull a card just for the new moon
Okay.
itself, like a
Okay.
general for the new moon in Saggy for us collectively. New moon, what energy? Ah, dang it.
Can't make this up.
Oh, remember the card I told you was like chasing everyone today?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Here it is. Okay. Anyway, what do you have for the
Well,
new?
okay. I think it's incredible for this
Ah,
King of Wands, okay?
yes.
Because it's fire.
Yep.
It's it's making the plans. I mean, it's a great Sagittarian kind of emblem
Yeah.
card, and this little salamander as the fire elemental. So it's definitely tuning into what lights you up and the king is for sure looking out and planning, making the plans, but like with the hand on the that energy of aliveness, at the forefront.
Yeah.
And maybe cycles are over. Maybe something's got to end. That's coming through. Like you're also thinking about, okay, what you're going to release and just that's over.
Yep. Yeah.
On to the next. That's over. That way of being, that's over. So that always comes through for me with like these little, the way the salamander is eating its own tail
Yes.
in the back. Yeah.
I love that. And especially reminds me too, I feel like, especially with that king energy, like this means business. Like, again,
Yeah.
very serious about how we're about to use this fire. And then I have feather and
Okay.
firm and flexible. So
Mm.
I feel like, again, even with that seriousness of like you're about to use or about to be, I want to say, gifted a flame that's effective. So if that is the case, it's almost like, give yourself an opportunity to clear out the old with the feather card. Any healing that needs to be done that might create a distortion for you in this act of creating, in this act of supporting what it is you're planting, deal with that. And then you'll have more, I think, clarity to really claim that throne that you have over there for us. And then with the firm and flexible, I just think it's like don't be too attached to the outcome. Be willing to like observe and dance with the maturing of whatever seed you're planting. But yeah, set yourself up right because this will
Yeah,
be an
that
effective.
that's that's a good point what you just said about the maturing and the firm and flexible because you may have the idea of something and it could actually be within the energy field of that idea, but look different than you expect. The
Right.
outcome could look different, and you just have to go with that. But
Do you have room in front of you, by the way, for all these cards? I'm like, where am I going to put all these
yes,
cards? Okay,
I think
perfect.
so.
All right. Well, I
Yeah,
think that's off to a good start. I
yeah,
think that's a good kind of
it's
consideration
perfect.
for us collectively. Yes.
Yeah.
Shall we hop over to Aries? We'll support our
Beautiful
Aries in
Aries.
this new moon.
Yes.
Aries for the new moon.
Aries.
Ah.
Oh. Well, okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, on my end, it looks like Aries might be needing to have, making some decisions right now.
Yes.
Aries needs to also remember to feel their feelings. And, you know, there's a fiery element to the Aries. So maybe, this is a moment of reflection, of really, not just looking out, but like looking in
Yeah.
and making sure to feel like again, I with the cross at the heart, feeling into the heartbeat, feeling into how you feel. And
Yeah.
this could be a moment of just stillness and yeah, tuning into again how you're feeling, but then like maybe making the choice based on intuition, not just your logical mind.
Can I just say, you cannot make this up. So, right before Melinda and I got together, today is Mars Day that we're recording this, and I just did the readings for the app for Aries and Scorpio. That is literally what their message was. Yes, you cannot make it up. If you are an Aries, hop over to that reading. Yes,
That's
that must be
incredible.
something very, talk about a message for them. Yeah. But
Yeah.
what I got for them too is embodiment. And with what you're saying, like it's even coming to mind of it's very important for Aries to be aware of what it is they are embodying. And part of what came through in their reading today was like dealing with what is true. And so, like, even before we have to make the decision or even before we have to move forward, you really want to make sure you're functioning from the awareness of your higher mind and not making these choices or decisions based on your fear, your doubt, your worry. So, I would just say for them during this new moon, make sure whatever you are intending or planting, it's coming from the right frequency for you that you're dealing with and having awareness of what you're connected to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It is why I can't believe you just basically gave them the same reading I did today.
Well, there you go. Better pay
Woo!
attention.
They're going to be working through it this week. All right. How about Taurus?
Beautiful Taurus.
Yes, for the bulls. New moon Taurus. Let's see.
Oh, yes.
Oh, all right.
Listen, there's a lot of intuition that is coming through the tarot for this sign,
Yeah.
the High Priestess.
Mm,
So the bull maybe, tends to be very into the fixed earth, and the High Priestess is and has an understanding of water energy and of like the changes that happen from day to day even.
yeah.
So like to not be so fixed, in terms of, maybe you've been thinking that your new moon needs to look a certain way or you need to make a certain intention that you've already thought of. But like she's saying, wait, take a moment and just, feel into what
Hmm.
it is you truly want, like from even and ask your unconscious, ask your blind spot,
Yeah.
meditate on that and just yeah, see what the intuition comes up with before you go ahead and do the ritual or do your new moon meditation.
I love Ask Your
Yeah,
Blind Spot. That's a really good one. Yeah, what I got for the Taurus is community. And I want to say, even in conjunction with what you're saying is coming through, to also not feel like you have to do it all alone. Like be open and receptive to, collaboration or even feedback from people in your community that are around you that really are in support of you. Because again, sometimes we can be so rigid in what our idea or how we think things should be when, sometimes community is the best thing that can support us. And even with the high priestess, encourage us to see things in a different way. So I would say don't negate maybe the support of community as you are working with this new moon energy.
beautiful.
Yeah, we are on a roll, honey pie. I want everyone to know this was impromptu. And Melinda said yes. You're so fun. It's 9:30 at night for
And by
her.
impromptu, it was a 1 second decision in the
Yes.
moment.
She made the mistake of, yeah, she sent me a text and then I said, "Are you busy?" And she said, "No." I was like, "You don't say that before you know what the person wants from you, Melindy."
If it's
Ah,
you, I'm on
I
board.
appreciate
I'm
it.
on board for all the signs too.
Yes. Well, this is just a fun way to play, especially because
Yeah.
you are so good with your readings. I love what you post online too. Don't forget, you have to check her out. We'll put her link below because she does do some incredible readings on Instagram. All right, so Gemini, is that our number three? Yeah, Gemini.
Gemini, yeah.
Oh, the twins, new moon.
I hear those twins talking. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? What does he think?
Whoa, whoa. They were
Oh.
saying too much, whole clump fell out, but I'll take what was on top.
Okay, well, Gemini, make sure make sure before you do any of your intention seeds that you really clear some wounding that may that you might have just come through.
Yeah.
Make sure that everything is clear and finished before,
Hmm.
that it seems like maybe there's been some things that have been that you feel like you need to guard against, some energy where it's like, but it's over now. Okay, it's the nine.
You are not going to believe the card I got.
What did you get?
Heart chakra.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
And really, really tending to whatever has been wounding you, whatever has been hurting, exactly what Melinda
Yeah.
said before you start planting any seeds. It also, I think of sometimes we tend to make decisions or think we want a particular outcome or put something out there, but it's based on these raw emotions that haven't necessarily been healed. And so then we start that ball in motion only to then land in a space of why? Like, why can't I come out of this? What's going on? But we didn't deal with what was at the foundation before we started creating even more from that energy. You can't make
Yeah.
this up. We should do this more often.
Yeah, Gemini, good luck. And You can do it.
You can do it. Yes. Deal with your heart first.
Do with your heart.
Deal with your heart first. Who's number four? Cancerians. Let's see what's going on for the crabs. Is
Let's get to the point here.
their
Okay,
ruler.
listen. Their ruler has spoken,
Yeah.
right? So maybe, again, some things need to be, I don't know, hashed out, expressed. Some feelings need to be expressed.
Yeah.
The crab energy with the hard shell and on the outside and the soft shell on the inside. I think some things need to just be come in and expressed out from the inside, and before you go ahead and move forward, some emotional stuff may be needing to be dealt with.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I have to show you this too in case it triggers anything else for you as well. So I got for them the yin and yang, and right away I was like, oh, it's interesting how your card has the moon within the sun, and
Yes.
on my yin and yang, there's the sun and the moon, and how the animals are looking up at that in this character as well. It just feels like definitely a need for balance here. And maybe if they are either needing to address the emotions or if they're feeling overwhelmed by emotion, like making sure that you are finding almost like this balance between your heart and your mind, like going really not being afraid to go deeper, or I don't want to say deeper, like beyond like your normal process, cancer, of like really having an understanding of it feels like if you're slipping too deep into one way or one expression, really kind of reining yourself back and checking the lens. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else come up for you around that with the yin
Yeah.
and yang too?
Well, the yin and yang, and that is incredible, like the way they correspond.
Yeah.
But again, it goes back to like what I was feeling into about the inside and the outside. Like
Yes.
something needs to be expressed so that stuff can come into balance.
Yeah.
And then also, I always think of these creatures as like dogs, wolf, what
Yeah.
as representing kind of the domestication versus the more primal why, and they need to
Right.
come into balance too. So if you've been feeling like you've been just doing all the right things and dutiful things and doing, might be the howling primal self who wants to do something a little bit off, unusual,
Yeah.
needs to be listened to in this case.
Yeah.
As make as before you set your seeds, make sure there's a little bit of wild primal self in
I
there.
like that. Yeah. It feels like making sure they really acknowledge the fullness of their expression and not just leaning on what they may be used to. Even those two towers in the background of yours were like, wow, yeah. Interesting. All right, number five, Leo. 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 Oops. Oh, got it. Oh, I should show you ahead of time.
That's who fell out for you?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, ooh.
Okay, Leo.
Yes.
Well, Leo's yeah, Leo again. Leo is also that's a burden. There's a
Yeah.
burden happening here. There's a sense of like you've been working so hard
Hmm.
and you can just like barely take the time to breathe anymore. Like there's this just sense of like really a lot of work and
Yeah.
like carrying more and more responsibility. And it feels like it's a good time to put down. Hopefully that's the end of that.
Yeah.
Again, it's coming to the end. It's a new beginning right around the corner. It's a 10. So But this card is just, this figure is, Leo must be really doing a lot and have been
Yeah.
doing a lot and carrying a lot for a lot of people.
Yes. And it feels like with the teachings card here that this needs to be, you need to be mindful of how you transition out of this energy. I mean, even with what Melinda is saying, like when you really recognize the amount that you have been carrying, the burden, the weight, the focus, the work, whatever it is for you, that, sometimes again, you need support. And sometimes you need to figure out how to transition out of the cycle or the phase that you've been in order to help you to embrace new ways of being, a new, yeah, just like you said, they're ending a cycle. I feel like the teachings card is be very mindful of what you're aligning to so that you're not repeating a cycle.
Right.
It's very important that you, yeah, it just feels like what is it that you want to create or do differently, function differently in this new cycle, but preparing yourself for that, doing something to really set yourself up to not have to repeat
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. And it might be like, how are you going to put these down? You know,
Yeah.
are you going to like throw them down? Are you, because you're just like, oh, and then go have a drink.
Yeah.
Like, no, you might, that's a way. There's different approaches to it. You might be like, oh,
Linda
but,
said, you can do something else.
maybe there's another way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good one. All
Mm.
right. What is that? Oh, it's you next, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Virgo.
Virgo. Okay,
Mm-mm.
Virgo. Your moon, Virgo.
Oh, that's so
Oh,
sweet.
yes.
Oh, listen, there's a lightness to this, there's a lightness to the consideration here of the
Yeah.
Page of Wands. There's fire, there's spark, but there's like really an openness and this sweetness and a sense of, yeah, real open mind to it. Not necessarily it's a childlike energy actually. It's playful,
Yeah.
in terms of considering the new moon energy and what seeds to plant. I really love that. I love the pyramids there in the background, this
Yeah.
sense of like, look, we're in this moment in time.
Mhm.
It's like so much has come before us and we get to just be here now with our own little thoughts and ideas and this little feather of the
Feather in his
fool,
cap. Yeah.
is just like, what, maybe a little risk, maybe a little, yeah, a little something, just not too serious, not all weighted down. But that feels nourishing.
I love that you say this. And I have to say, because I think, just in a generalized sense, Virgos get this reputation of being so serious and they're so, analytical and they have this critical eye. And it's so some of the funnest people I've ever known in my life have been Virgos, and some of the most adventurous people I've ever known in my life have been Virgos. So I love that this is the message for them because I think it also highlights that part of their essence that often isn't highlighted for them. People don't often talk about. And even with what you said, it just feels like, having this curiosity to allow yourself to really connect with what would really give you a sense of fulfillment, not the sense of responsibility that Virgo tends to get bogged down with, not the sense of how to get everybody else's wishes granted, how to help everybody else fulfill whatever they need to fulfill. And even if, they say a Virgo loves to feel a sense of being purposeful, of being useful, I feel like this really is like this invitation of, yeah, but what about you? Yeah, like what is it that is really going to be your sense of fulfillment? And let's give some focus to that.
Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Virgo. All right. Libra. What are those Libras?
Scales.
Huh. Oh.
Libra, 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 my beautiful Libra. Hmm.
Oh.
This
Wow.
is same card.
Yeah.
No. Okay, but also as I said, scales, like
Yeah.
there's a
Yeah.
weighing going on here.
Hmm.
Literally a choice potentially.
Yeah.
And, but it's in the weave of like almost, I always think of the lemniscate there as being like, kind of like either one's okay.
Yeah.
Either one's okay. If they're
In
in the
case anyone
weave.
doesn't see this card, you see how her hands are up, not hitting either side of the drum.
I love
Yeah.
that card so much.
Yeah.
She's just like, she's listening. And he's feeling, he's kind of literally feeling the weight, juggling these two pentacles. There's a sense of like, okay, tap into what, there's a lot of waves back there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you're on Libra, you're on solid ground.
Hmm.
You really are. There's been a lot of emotion, playing in the background. But it's like I feel like that's in the back. That's behind you. So I feel like you're now in this place of, and a little sense of also play. Don't get so bogged down in like the perfect. Libras have that air. They're thinking and they're having to, and they like to ask other people, right, about stuff. And
Yeah.
like, no, this might be a time to like just really sit with yourself on what it is you really want, you
And look
know?
at all these twos, Melindy. Like your card is a number two. This one is a 22. Good
Yeah.
gracious.
Yeah. There is partner. That's sort of like, yeah, there is a partnership energy to Libra,
Partner.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Or
But
decision
then these
making.
these figures are, yeah, they are tuning in
Yeah.
to their own what they need.
And I
Yeah.
think going off of what you said, because this is the decision card, like really, I want to say trusting your way. And even if it takes you a while to do that dance, that juggle over there, like on Melinda's card, be patient with yourself of weighing the pros and cons for yourself so that the choice that you're making is right and true for you. I think it's really good what you said, like not relying on anyone else and not potentially just making a decision to appease everyone else. But instead, it may take you some time to figure out what is right and true for you, but I think it'll be worth the wait. Like, don't rush into this decision. It feels like it must hold some kind of significance for you about your way forward, how you want to do it. And again, if it's not based on other people's projections or expectations on you, what feels right for you? Take your time with that juggle, and I think you'll get some clarity.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Beautiful.
Libra. Okay, Scorpios. I
Scorpios.
just realized your they're all right there. Like because you have some significant placements with all three of the signs we just did, right?
Yes,
Virgo,
yes.
Libra,
And Scorpio.
and Scorpio.
A lot of Libra,
All right.
a lot of Scorpio rising. Love Scorpio. Okay.
Hey, Scorpio. Ooh. Oh,
Well, Scorpio, it looks like there may be some attachments that you might want to look at in your life. You may feel like you have to make somebody else a priority, but that could be a story. But make sure that you're really, I don't know, because I always think of the Lover's card, and this the devil suggests, you're maybe not there could be, make sure you're loving on yourself real good,
yeah.
you know, and really freeing yourself as much as you can from any stories or any false narratives around what you're capable of doing.
Yeah.
You know, you
I can't
have
make this
power.
up, honey. Before, again, I told you I did Aries and Scorpio today before us, and one of their cards was the Illusionist, which in my deck is the Devil card. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Scorpio, go listen to that reading. Yes. Yeah. This is really meant to support you. And even with that, think about where you may be able to soften. This is the forgiveness card. And a lot of times, what frees us from what is really binding us to, the story or the feeling, the whatever it is, but really amplifying those stories is when we're not willing to soften enough to forgive or see someone else's point of view, or at least, I want to say, drop into the humanity where you can have compassion for another instead of just amplifying the frustration of the energy that may be that has been building up around whatever the situation is. I want to say, did you tell them to be tender with themselves? Something
Yeah.
like that.
Mm.
Yeah, like I really think this is asking you to be a little more tender with yourself, soften with yourself a bit before making your next move, and definitely before making plans for how you're going to move forward.
Yeah. Forgive yourself for,
Yeah.
whatever it is you need. You don't have
Yeah,
to
I
carry
think
that.
I think they had the illusionist, I want to say the architect, and I forget what was on the other side, but yeah,
Yeah.
definitely let's soften up, Buttercup. All right. Saggy? Yes.
Did we do? Yeah, we didn't do Sag, did we? No,
No.
we didn't do the Sag. We
No,
just
we
did
didn't
the
do
new
the
moon.
Sag, and
Okay,
it is
okay,
still their
Saggy.
birthday season for a few days. So happy birthday, Saggies.
Love you, Saggies.
Sagittarius. And it's their new moon, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Sagittarius. Sometimes
Oh,
I think I gotta find another way of using the
oh.
cards. Woo!
Sag
I have
is
communication.
this is, and I have the magician for Sagittarius. So the
Mhm.
magician, this is like your time right now. This is so clearly your time. We're in the whole season of Sagittarius and we are approaching the year one. It's you are in this golden light of potential, any almost anything that you want can be possible. So make sure you clarify that because
Yeah.
it's going to come true. You better be careful what you wish for
Heck
right now.
yeah. Especially with that magician paired with communication, honey, the power of your word. And the thing that's so important with that is the power of your thoughts, which are also a culmination of your words. So definitely be very mindful of the level of, what do you say, like frequency of your thoughts and the stories you're telling and what you're speaking out loud, because you are creating, almost, I would say, like you are like, your creation is amplified right now. So exactly what Melinda said, be careful what you wish for, be careful what you speak, be very clear and mindful of what you are setting in motion just through the power of your word and thought. Yeah. Oh, those Saggies. All right. Capricorn, I'm running out of room over here.
I've got mine are gonna setting up. I got a long desk here.
Oh, Capricorn, whoa, over there.
You gotta line up, excuse me.
Like, don't be bossy with me, Cappy. Oh,
Making plans.
how about it?
Definitely you maybe have been really looking. You've been taking this seriously, Capricorn.
Mm-hmm.
You have been taking it seriously to like what's coming next.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Really taking stock of the big picture of
Yeah.
what you want. Good job, Capricorn. But yeah, I really feel like you've really been I'm having a you go.
Okay. Well, she coughs.
I'm coughing.
Part of this really also feels like considering on two sides are coming through with this. Not only are you making the plans and the world is in your hands, so to speak, it does feel like too this willingness or readiness to put in the work. This is the give and take card. And I want to say that when you all are determined, you are willing to give it your all, show up and just do the work, take accountability. It's almost like you understand the value of the work to get the reward that you want. So I think right now in this energy, not just having the vision, but perhaps also creating like a game plan of what steps can be taken in order to help you, get to the goal, so to speak. But it's coming to say, make sure you don't burn yourself out, Capricorn. make sure that this plan leaves some room or perhaps some collaboration or just something where you may feel like you're about to grab the bull by the horns, but don't burn yourself out.
Yeah, there is that sense of collaboration here with the two
Yeah, yeah.
and partnership, and then the give and take has that. Yeah,
Right.
so it's not just you.
Mm-mm. But be fair and listen to other people's perspectives as well. Yeah. All right. Aqua, the aquas. It's so funny to me how many times when I say I'm Aquarius and people be like, "Oh, you're water," and I'm like, "Oh," I always feel so awkward. I don't want to be like, "No, actually," I'm like, "Ah, I don't want to blow your mind, but I'm air." All right,
That's one of the hardest things for people to grab their,
yeah, it makes
grasp.
no sense.
It makes
Right
no
on
sense.
par for
You're the
Aquarius.
water bearer. Wait a minute.
All right, Aquarius,
Yeah,
what's going
beautiful
on for you,
Aquarius.
lovelies? Oh, there we go.
Okay, there's Aquarius. There's some hot offer coming in.
Whoop,
I
whoop.
don't know what it is, but it looks like it's very exciting. Yeah, you've been an energy of how you get there's some gifts and some heat in your life right now. It's exciting.
Fire, fire.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, and
like
then
it.
I look at it, it's like, yeah, it just there's a romance story here for me between these two
Oh,
cards.
yes.
There's something about that. So it's yeah, and the knight comes bearing gifts. There could be something that you even haven't received yet, but it's on its way. So it's like coming to you. It's very exciting. It's very transformational
Yeah.
as well. There's a big energy of transformation and maybe something unexpected, like taking you off your feet a little bit. So, but like go with it because it's great energy.
I love that. And even with this is the commitment card for you all. It's coming into that. I feel like some of you may also notice around this moon, you're feeling very passionate about agreeing to something, like some sort of agreement, whether it's a relationship, maybe there's a collaboration, work wise, just something that you may feel really fired up about, saying yes to, committing to. But of course, with all that fire energy and that excitement that Melinda's telling you about, I would say, you know, take a breath and just make sure you cross your T's and dot your I's. Don't just be caught up in the excitement.
Yeah, you got to ground.
Yeah,
Definitely got to
yeah.
ground.
Especially around this coming in
This is
hot.
so exciting.
Yeah. But have your eyes clear. Yes. All right, Pisces. Look at we did it, babe. I think it took
Beautiful.
us 30 minutes.
That's
Not bad for
perfect.
all 12
Mm-mm.
signs. All right.
Oh, Pisces.
Pisces. How
It's my
fun.
moon. I see those fish swimming.
Our moon
Our moon. What am I
is
say? Our
Pisces.
moon. That's
Oops, there
right.
we go.
We share that. Oh,
Ah.
okay.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. So for Pisces has some thoughts. Pisces has been having some thoughts about something that either, somebody's been, I don't know, this assertiveness here is something's going on and you've
Yeah.
had your eye on it. And you're not maybe you haven't been sure even what to do with it. I always get the sense of like the feet are going in this direction, the head is looking in the other direction. Like
Yeah.
something is up,
Yeah.
and it's not quite aligned.
Hmm.
But yeah, but then there's this glow, this the yellow, the golden light, so there is a high frequency energy and an illumination at the same time, and there still are these these grounded thoughts there that are remaining. This is interesting. Like, what do you want
Yeah.
to take and move forward with
Yeah.
for you in this new moon energy? And what are you going to leave behind? Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to be deliberate about that.
It's interesting that you bring up even that illumination with the gold because I feel like they are aware, almost like they do have some clarity, but it feels like a bit of skepticism. Like there is some kind of questioning. They are moving forward, but again, something in their sphere is maybe they don't feel 100% right about it, or maybe there's someone or something that they're not trusting 100%. But to your point, yes, especially with the threshold card here, you definitely want to be very clear, Pisces, about what it is you are leaving behind as we are ending this cycle and what it is you are going to move ahead with, what you're taking forward. I would say, even with what you're choosing to leave behind, make sure you extract out the wisdom, and I would say make sure you even get really clear and understand perhaps what the skepticism is about, like what it is that you're questioning. Like, don't just sweep it under the rug,
Yeah, I was
but
going to say, yeah,
yeah,
clarify your story here and
yeah,
what stories are going on, because and I was struck by the five swords. So there is change possible in this scenario, whatever it is. It's
hmm,
not stuck, you know, it's something is going to shift.
yeah,
If that resonates for you, Pisces, it will
yeah.
change.
I love that. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's it. All 12 of the signs. I mean, I would say all of them kind of have a feeling of be aware, like be mindful of what we're doing before we plant this seed of intention for wrapping up this year. It feels like everyone is potentially moving in a new direction, which I guess makes sense too. We're transitioning out of this 9 year into the one. So that yeah, there's a lot of transitional energy it feels like going on for everyone, but the highlight is be very mindful and aware, almost like your mind and your emotion, finding balance, being clear, taking your time. Scorpio, forgive. What
Yeah.
else?
Release. Make sure that you're not carrying stuff with you into
Yeah,
the, into the planting.
yeah. And
That is
Gemini,
really, you can leave.
third card we did. Remember, Gemini, like really make sure you truly spend some time tending to whatever has made you feel heavy, any wounding. Yeah. And then our overall, what was your overall for the new moon again? I had feather and firm and flexible.
Was
The
that
very first card.
the very first card?
That's right. Yeah, it just
Yes.
feels like a lot of healing potential for us before we go ahead and use that king's wand.
Yeah. There's a lot of power.
Yeah,
I mean, the magician showed up for, in a sense, is the magician and the king of wands. And I mean, the high priestess is here bleeding through
yeah,
the whole zodiac for everybody. So we
yeah,
got some, yeah, some great energies here for everybody.
yeah. I mean, it all feels very powerful. Just some things to tend to before we go
But what
forward.
I'm really just remembering is that wisdom where, the wisdom of that transition between the burden to the next phase and then getting
Oh,
that
that was
healing
Leo,
that
I
you,
think.
Leo, yeah,
Yeah.
that's a really important for everybody to remember. Just
Yes.
like, how do you go from that state into the next one, and to not just fling yourself into the next thing,
Yeah.
but to take a little bit of time for yourself to get
Take a
some
little
support.
time for yourself. Yes.
Consider.
And where can we go on Instagram to see the readings that you do? Your phenomenal readings.
Well, you can visit Speakeasy Reiki on Instagram, and there I've been doing a lot of fun readings around body alchemy.
Body. Yes.
Yeah. And basically, I love and think the body is a really important component of who we are. And I think loving ourselves and our bodies and speaking love into our bodies is so important.
Yeah.
And it's not something that society, teaches us. Society teaches us to like criticize and objectify ourselves and like try to make ourselves this and that and the other. And I'm really into that we know scientifically when you speak love into your body and you feel, like, oh yeah, your skin is, it's carrying the whole story of your life, it's just perspective, okay? But I give perspective on that, and so I do a reading for like different body parts that have come to me through various intuitive ways. Like sometimes it's a guide, sometimes it's bibliomancy, sometimes it's like a dream.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just, yeah, like I, or it's request. You can
Yeah.
request. So go ahead and go on over and I will riff on any body part.
No, it's
So
really brilliant. It's really, really interesting what you've done. You know, it's so funny. Like while you were just saying it, I just had a moment of panic. I was like, oh my God, am I recording this? Oh no, I am though. Thankfully, I am. And so, yes, people will get to see this beautiful reading we just did. Also, as I mentioned throughout, I do readings. On the Energetic Alchemist app. In fact, in the past, Melinda has done some readings for us on that app as well. But hopefully, maybe she and I will play. If you enjoyed this, we can do some other full moon, new moon, I don't know, other planetary things that happen. We can do some readings on that. I'll ask her if she's busy and hopefully she'll say no.
I'm never busy. I will always pull cards with Miss Yolanda. Always.
Ah, this was a lot of
So,
fun, my
yeah.
love. I hope you all enjoyed it too. And I'll put Melinda's contact information down in the description. Be sure to follow her and check out all of the incredible work she does. You're not even going to believe it.
Happy new moon.
Happy new moon, my love. I'll see you for the solstice.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.